I stopped birth control. I was on it since I was 16. I started getting depressed and I called my mom. I just sat in bed all day, lights were off. I am switching to online school and I can fully devote my time to be a full-time content creator, which makes me so happy. What's up guys, it's Bella. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're brand new. I feel like a lot of the people that are gonna be watching this are either my friends or my family or like subscribers that have been here for a minute, because it is a little life update, a little mental health update, and I'm really gonna be opening up and tell you guys what's been going on in my life and how I've been feeling and how my mental health has been, and just kind of like what I've been going through personally. And I'm hoping that this will inspire you to also be able to open up to anyone about it, because it's a little scarier for me because I'm opening up to thousands and thousands of people about it. But I hope that this video just inspires one person to be more open and to take care of their mental health a lot better than they are. If you're new, I'm going to preface this video. I'm Isabellagoria. I have been doing YouTube since I was 16 and I absolutely love this platform. I love that God has given me such a platform to reach people and to spread his love while also sharing my love for fashion and makeup. It's truly a blessing that I get to do this every single day of my life. So I'm gonna shoot straight and just go straight into what I wanna talk about, because I don't want this to be too long of a video, but I wanna be able to give as much insight and be as intentional and personable as possible. So let's get into it. Let me sip my water real quick. Yes, look at my new holiday Starbucks cup. I love this cup so much. Water always tastes better coming out of this cup. Okay, so personally, I've never struggled with mental health, depression, whatever it may be, until this past summer. I stopped birth control. I was on it since I was 16 for period reasons, and I just realized I was at a point where I was dependent on it too much and I just did not need it. Like, why am I doing this to my body? So I researched it and I got off the pill, which truly was the best decision of my life. I personally am against birth control in the sense that it is so toxic for your body, and I just don't see how it can be good for you. But that's my personal opinion. I know it works for other people, great, and that's great for them, but for me it was horrible. So I stopped birth control, and I noticed a month and a half after I started getting a little depressed, and I was a little confused why. I didn't really think it had to do with my birth control. I just thought it was just me just growing up and in college and living on my own and just kind of going through all the feels and the emotions of the world. For reference, if you didn't know, birth control does take exactly 3 months, if not a little bit longer, to get fully out of your system, especially for someone who was on it since I was 16. I was on it for 4 straight consecutive years. So yeah, it takes 3 months to get out of your system, and I've heard that within those 3 months you'll start experiencing a lot of different things with your body, your hair, your emotions, whatever it may be. Those are very transitional 3 months. So yeah, I started getting depressed and I called my mom, and it was a good 2 days where I just felt like doing nothing. I just sat in bed all day, lights were off. I just could not really get through what was happening. And this was in July. And then I decided to reach out to a counselor, so I got a therapist, and I've been going to therapy every other week since then. I am so much better. So I would kind of blame my stemming of depression on birth control. Getting off of it was really hectic for my body, and I'm still going through a few things that I'm trying to deal with. I am an excessive sweater now, so I'm on medicine for my armpits because I excessively sweat, and that's because my hormones are just still going crazy from being on it for so long and then just cold turkeying it and just stopping. So yeah, that was super interesting, and pinpointing the fact that it was the birth control was really eye-opening to me, and just kind of understanding wow, I was really on something that really affected my body that much. So it was kind of a confirmation that I should have gotten off of it. So I'm really glad I followed through with my intuition and I got off of the pill. So yeah, being depressed affected my schoolwork. It affected my summer because I was doing online classes, and that was just horrible for me. And then I moved. So while dealing with depression, I moved away from my parents. I had moved in there since January. After living in a dorm just to finish out school, because I was going to a different school, but that didn't happen. So anyways, I moved back home, and then moving again while dealing with depression into my own apartment was a huge change for me. And although I didn't feel directly threatened or affected by it, it affected me indirectly. So I was going through that, and then YouTube, I just didn't feel like posting. I wasn't inspired. I didn't feel like I could help others if I couldn't just help myself. And that's the hardest thing about mental health. It's like when you have a platform, it's like, how can I even give you a motivational quote if I don't feel motivated myself? So it was really hard for me to be able to push myself. So yeah, I got therapy, Christian counselor, amazing woman. I really owe a lot of my strength now that I have to her, and she was great. Been a really great person. I still go to her to this day. I actually went yesterday and she's amazing. So my first kind of advice piece is to never feel afraid to reach out to someone. It was crazy for me to talk about depression to my parents and like my mom, because like I had never struggled with it growing up, but it kind of just hit me out of nowhere. And then when I pinpointed it and it was birth control, and then I was weaning off the medicine still, it just really hit me that was it. That was the true kind of, like I said, like that stemmed my depression and me feeling horrible about life, myself, my confidence, whatever it may be. So how I got better, this is something that I definitely want to talk about for a quick minute, because getting better is super hard to do. It is very time consuming. It can be demotivating, although you want it to be motivating. It can just be a very stressful process. And so these are my steps on getting better. First thing is to talk to someone, admit that you're feeling this way. If you don't admit it and you just kind of go to the second step or third step, it's really hard to cope with the fact that you are dealing with whatever it may be, anxiety, depression, any other like mental health problem or disorder. The first thing is to talk to someone, whether it be your mom, your dad, your best friend, your cousin, your mentor, a therapist. Talk to someone and try to talk it out and pinpoint your feelings and why you're feeling this way. So before I was depressed, I actually wrote down a bunch of things that made me happy, and then once I got depressed, I wrote down all the things that didn't make me happy. And it was interesting that all the things that made me happy before were the things that didn't make me happy when I was depressed. So it kind of just reminded me when I was in that state of mind where I was sad, that these things are what makes me happy, because when I was happy, this is what I would look forward to. I would get joy out of filming. I would get joy out of posting, talking to you guys, responding to every comment. Like that gives me joy. And so if I wasn't posting for a minute, which I'm back on a consistent schedule, that's exactly why, because I have been absolutely so depressed, but I'm back, I'm good. We're thriving. We've taken all the precautionary measures to become a better person and to put our mind first. Developing a really good self-care routine was important. I wake up at 5 o'clock every day because that's what works for me. I just feel like the most peace and joy in the morning when I wake up at 5 and I do my devotional, I talk to God, I drink my coffee. I work out from 6:15 to 7:15 every morning at Orange Theory, and that's what works for me. And a book that really helped me with that is my true and tried book that I've talked about in many videos, was the 5 a.m. Club. This got me up at 5 o'clock every day. And I love it. It talks about like own your morning, elevate your life, use that extra hour when you wake up. 95% of the world sleeps in, that only 5% wake up at 5 a.m. I want to be a part of that 5%. So this book was very great for me and I do recommend it. I also started reading books. I just talked about another one in my current favorites that will be up in a few days. But it's this book because I just filmed it. And this is a great book. Just reading any like self-help book is really important. I'm gonna do a video on all the books that I love. But reading books and putting myself first and trying something new was super important for me as well. But this one really got me out of the gutter and really helped me become better with my morning and my time, and being more wise about the time that I spend in the morning and how I spend it. I do my best to be in bed no later than 10 o'clock every single night, especially on the weekdays. On the weekends, sometimes it doesn't work out like that, but on the weekdays, I'd like to be in bed earlier because I like to wake up earlier. I make sure I always do my morning skincare, my nighttime skincare, and I take a bath twice a week with my Lush stuff, which makes me really happy. And I have a good relationship with God, and I'm always, striving to become deeper in my relationship with Him and my family and all that stuff. So putting forth all those priorities, and the priorities look different for each and every single person. We're all so different, but maybe some of these will help you become better because they helped me. But developing something that is so unique to you, like a self-care routine, is really important to find what makes you feel good throughout the day, what makes you feel good in the morning when you go to bed. Personally, I love showering, putting a ton of lotion on, and getting in my bed. That makes me feel good. I feel clean, I feel ready for the night, and yeah, that's about it. So that's kind of what I've been going through over the past 4, 5, 6 months. If you guys were curious, which I know a lot of you were, so I'm glad I was able to kind of talk about it with you guys. And now, my current life update from today on out. I am switching to online school. I'm gonna finish out my college career, 4-year undergrad, online. I am a business administration major, and that is what I'm doing. I feel like I'll have a lot more freedom to travel, visit family, kind of do my job. My job is a very hefty and very time-consuming job. It may look to you that all I do is film videos and I pass it along to my editor, but it's way deeper than that. I shoot content for brands. It's very time-consuming. It's very mentally draining. And although it may not seem as deep as a 9-to-5 in an office, it is still a job and it is still something that I do. And I think a lot of people think that it's a lot easier for us because this is what we do and somehow we make so much money doing it, but it's really hard to keep up with. And we deal with a lot of hate and a lot of different stuff. And yeah, so being able to shoot content no matter what day it is and class schedule or whatever can be super important for me to do. And I can fully devote my time to be a full-time content creator, which makes me so happy. That's what I want to do. Like, that's the job I want to do for life. Like, that is, my heart is set on it, and I know that God will fulfill the desires of my heart. So being online will help me be able to move to a city. I'm definitely still in Florida. I'm not gonna tell you guys where. I'm thinking of 2 places where I can be immersed in the culture of the influencer world, and not like the fake world. I mean, like, just immersed in the culture of things that are very now and up and like going is going to be super helpful for my channel, my Instagram, my social medias, and also just in my future, like my personal entrepreneurship journey. So yeah, that's my current life. I have straight A's in all my classes right now because when I switched my major from film to business, I have just felt so much better, and film was not my thing, but business is my thing. I grew up in the business world with my family. So I love my major now, and it's crazy that I'm getting such good grades now in business because it shows that I'm actually passionate about it. I'm learning Arabic, like I mentioned, which is super cool. So I'm very excited to dive deeper into the culture that I grew up in and just kind of claim it even more than I have. So yeah, everyone's always like, you look the part, like you look Arabic, like you look Middle Eastern, you act the part. Like, I eat all this crazy stuff and I grew up in the culture very heavily, and I'm so blessed that like my parents like brought me up in the culture because it's so cool to know that like there's still like really deep roots in me that are very much so like culturally there to this day. But like, there's that one thing that's missing, and that's just me knowing the language. And my mom has said that she definitely wishes I was taught it when I was younger because she knows it. But yeah, so there's 2 languages basically. There's Farsi and there's Arabic, but Arabic is more universal and a lot of people speak Arabic, so I am learning Arabic. I will be fluent in it, you just wait. And yeah, everything's going super well right now. Like, I have a good self-care routine. I love my friends, I love my family. I serve at church. I go to church every Sunday. I'm traveling. I'm visiting my brother. I have friends visiting me. It just feels really good to do what I'm doing and to keep taking care of my body. I work out every day. I drink enough water. I treat myself to dessert when I want it because I listen to my body. We only have one body, so I'm gonna treat it good, but I'm also gonna give in to the cravings when I want them. So I have a really good balance in life, and it feels really good to be at this point, knowing where I was in July. So I'm really, really proud of myself for picking myself up and for God being there for me every step of the way, and my parents and just kind of everyone who is surrounded with me in this kind of time. Okay, so when I was depressed, if I could see who I am now, like 6 months ago, 4, 5, 6 months ago, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I wanna get there, and I'm here now. And it feels really good to know that I'm in this place, and I want you to know that anyone can be in the place that I'm in, and that's not to say I won't struggle with it later on at all. It's just that now I'm doing really good and I'm really proud of myself, and anyone you know could struggle with it at all, like literally anyone. So treat everyone with kindness, love, respect, and always assume that someone has something that they're going through that they're just not voicing. So be kind to everyone and love everyone. I definitely feel like I had more to say, but that's all I can think of in this specific video. But I hope this was good for you guys to listen to. I want you to know that I'm here for you. My DMs are always open, and I'm not doing this video to get pity at all. Like, I'm doing this video to inform you guys of my life, because a lot of you guys have been asking, and when I post, you're like, oh my god, she's finally back. So I just felt like I owed it to you guys, because you guys are my life. Like, this is what I love it. Like, I just get so happy about it. This is what I love, and so it's only right that I just inform you guys on my life. But if you're struggling, reach out to someone. I'm gonna leave some articles and like all this information down below on the places to reach out to, how to reach out to someone, and like resources down below. But I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, night, whenever you're watching this. Just know that you are not alone whatsoever, and it's not weird for you to struggle with something like this, because I thought it was weird for me to struggle with something like this. I'm like, me? You picked me to struggle with depression? It's not weird, I promise you. It's a normal thing that everyone goes through. What a perfect quote that just popped up on my Pinterest boards that change every hour. This is how I get my quotes for you guys. So this is the quote. It says, maybe they will choose you, maybe they won't, but none of it matters if you choose yourself. Okay, so choose yourself no matter what. Choose your mental health first, your spiritual health first, your physical health first, because none of it matters if they don't pick you, they don't want you, they don't choose you. If you choose yourself and you put yourself forward, that's all you have. At the end of the day, it's just you. It's just you standing there. Obviously, the God's there too, but like it's just you. Like physically, like touching wise, it's literally just you. Choose yourself, put yourself first, prioritize your feelings, your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health, all of that stuff, because it will get better. I promise you. I promise you it always gets better. I just promise you. I just know it. Like, I just know that there is a bigger purpose for you than to feel how you're feeling right now, or whether you're gonna feel this in the future. When you're at that point, just know that there's a bigger purpose for you than to just sit there and feel sad. There's so many things you can do about it, and although it's hard, you gotta pick yourself up, you gotta be strong and get up and just go for it, because it is only a temporary feeling. I promise you, God will not put you in a place where you feel like this is your forever state of mind. Dang, I just preached, okay? Okay, preacher Bella. No, I'm kidding. I love you guys so much. Have a good rest of your day. Drink your water. This is super helpful and like very important for your mental health, drinking water. And if you don't drink a lot of water, get a pretty cup. It makes it so much better and it makes you drink more. I wish I could give you guys a big hug. One day I will be able to, but I love you. I'm gonna say it again. You are not alone. You're not. And I'll see you guys very soon. I love you guys. It gets better, I promise.